And welcome into the Collector's Desk. I am Steve Johnston, the toy expert on History's Pawn Stars and the showrunner for the Unrivaled Show and PokeCon in Las Vegas. Up on the only other panelist that's here right now, Mr. Brendan Allen from ComicCon.com. Look, we run a tight ship around here, don't we?
What is going on, baby? Oh, here's Lawson. Lawson showed up.
Now in the bottom there is Mr. Brett Lawson, student of the game, Go Live Vegas. And just all around,
decent
everything
guy
about Vegas. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, that's right, we are joined by the legend, the infamous, the ever so daring Erik Amaya.
Erik looks different.
Editor-In-Chief ComicCon.com. He is black screened. He is apparently he's having his own minor protest of the podcast today. We're gonna let him do that and kind of get into it and everything. But
Victor, we are all doomed now.
Oh, it's Vic. Vic is here with us. Yeah. Hey, Vic. How you doing, buddy?
It's very good to be here. Happy to be on show, and spreading the word of doom.
I hear it's been humid in Latveria. Is that true?
It's very humid right now. Fortunately, because Doom is a planner. No fires. There are no fires in Latveria. Good. Any news to the contrary is propaganda from cursed Richards.
Oh wow!
Oh, absolutely. Nice. Yeah. And that guy's pretty fantastic too, right? I would say.
Can I just make an editorial statement here?
Go ahead.
The then in your title.
I was wondering if someone would point it out.
Should be THAN because that then is a time.
Yeah.
Correct.
That one's wrong.
Just I have.
There's a reason for it.
I don't blame him for that.
You know what's funny? Okay, so now I'm going to do this
right
because I wasn't going to say anything. Put it back up.
That's a good one. That's an editor's eye. That one needs to be called out. I'll give it.
No, Eric's fixing it.
Put it back up. Okay, right. There's a reason, right? Better here than there, because today is my 48th birthday.
Holy shit, you're old.
And then was a lot better because my body felt better.
It's about a sequence. That's what.
Dude, I love making fun of people who are younger than me.
Yes, you are.
Fuck you, you're old.
I'm not the only one. Damn it.
I am. I'm on my way. The Doombot in the building, everybody. Round of applause. Thank you, Doombot.
Here's the part that you don't get. Is Erik. We were having a very important work meeting ahead of this, and Erik took 5 minutes out of that to make sure that his shoulders were all right and everything, and then he was trying to figure out the reveal.
Well, what's funny is I kind of called it because right before we went on, I was like, "What is he in a Sith robe?" Just the look kind of threw me off a little bit. It wasn't standard Erik attire,
right?
But it's very fitting. It's very fitting. I actually like Doombot better than Erik, I think. To be honest with you,
Doombot's going to produce the show.
Doombot appreciates you.
I think this could be a start of a running gag.
I feel like if anything, staying in favor with Doombot's just a good idea, right? Like stay in favor.
In case AI wins,
right?
Especially these days.
Yeah, just in case AI wins.
Yeah, you never know. They could be taking over any day.
Well, it's funny, but I love that you've got that homage there because in the third segment of today's show, Erik is actually going to be taking us on an insider approach and what he saw at San Diego Comic-Con, which was just recent. And there was a lot of cool stuff that came out of it. Of course, we talked about it on the last podcast before, we took a break, and that was that Marvel was rolling out. And he had a chance to be at that. Obviously, he has a lot of information for you guys. So in the third segment, Erik Amaya is going to take us to San Diego Comic-Con and talk about this.
I understand that your producer also make film of San Diego.
See, and he made a film while he's out there. So you're going to find out all that information, and that'll be in the third segment.
You know what he did not get, though?
What's that?
He did not get a photo with Chief Tappy Tappy, who was at San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm very, very upset because I texted him. I said, bro, Chief Tappy Tappy is there. You got to find him, and he didn't even read the text.
Man, that's awfully bold to text Victor Von Doom, bro. You guys must be close. You guys must be close.
Doom is not concerned with Chief Tappy Tappy. Only
no, because Chief Tappy Tappy would take the sticks and he not like this. He would go like this because you don't do them together. Have you not watched any of the videos?
But he's looking. I was gonna say,
let us pretend Doom has not watched those videos. No.
Okay, well,
it might
help.
He's busy. He's busy whooping Avengers ass.
Because you've been trying to take over the world now for how many decades, bro? And it's not working. Maybe you need some of those Filipino martial arts.
It's almost time. December is Doomsday.
Yeah, but
not Doomsday. Doomsday.
What's it called, guys? What's it called when somebody tries something over and over and over again and does not succeed at it? Is that
like
success?
the guy on the podcast that pretends he's a Giants fan?
Or is that failure?
For is science. That is science.
Science. It's not failure. It's science. Okay. We're redefining the vernacular.
It's insanity.
To move the goalpost, we have to redefine the vernacular, and failure is scientific process, is what Victor Von Doom is telling us.
Failure is scientific process.
Moving the goalpost is all we do on this show.
Only happen through failure. In other reality, where they say, why do we fall?
I love it.
Pick ourselves up again. That is science. That is also doom.
I thought that was Batman. You're mixing your metaphors.
Hey, they have the same tailor.
Might be the Batman, but here is Doom's Law.
Okay.
Doom's Law.
Well, the nice thing is that we'll be able to find all of this out in the third segment, San Diego Comic-Con discussion. But you know, that just kind of triggered me, guys, to talk about what I'm going to go on record, and now I'm going to say is probably the pop culture event of the year. I believe it's established itself as that, and that is what is known as Fanatics Fest. And yes, I'm saying that over San Diego Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. Look, the San Diego Comic-Con is cool. It's got some nice bits. Some of these big shows, they're kind of doing things in a interesting way. But I'll tell you, Fanatics Fest really rolled itself out this year, guys. I've never really seen a show go into the Javits Center there in New York and take over to the level that I saw.
You've not been to NYCC.
Fanatics Fest.
You've never been to NYCC. They take over the city. They take over the city.
No, I get that, but I'm telling you, on the interior, the way that they laid it out, all the common areas were like complete activations and branding and photo ops and
but
everything.
They're doing that. I appreciate Fanatics Fest. I really do. But they're doing that on the backs of the people that came before, and that's San Diego. They came before everybody. They are the first big event, and then New York Comic-Con took on some of that stuff, and Denver Pop Culture Con took on some of that stuff. So I am happy that they're doing as well as they are. But I gotta say, you know, for being a very, very, very niche convention, Fanatics Fest is not a complete show for me. If you're going for your celebrity stuff and you're going for your collectible stuff, cool. But there's so much other stuff. There's so many facets to San Diego that they don't have at the smaller conventions and stuff like that. And I do appreciate it for that.
Right.
But
San Diego started as a comic trading convention only.
In like a warehouse.
Everything. Right.
It was like
so. Don't tell me about
boxes.
evolution of a show there that it's had 30 plus years to.
Right, but all the sports card shows started out the same way though. They're just in a warehouse with a bunch of long boxes or fucking whatever. Of course,
and all these shows have to start somewhere. But what I'm telling you is that as an attendee and you're bang for your buck, there is no way possible that the rollout for Fanatics Fest alone. The one thing I'll just tell you, this one thing, right? You got a free Justin Bieber concert if you had a ticket.
I'm not impressed by that.
That may not be for you, but I'm telling you, you're not getting Justin Bieber unless he's in a stadium.
No. Listen, bro. Right? I appreciate everything that they did. I'm just saying, to say that it is better than SDCC or better than NYCC, they're completely different markets. And I think that you're saying that because you like sports cards better than you like comics and stuff like that.
But isn't that
that's actually not what
I'm glad that you loved it because it's aimed at you. It is
right.
Exactly
but what I want to get at is that it's not that, because look, in the third segment, we're going to talk. Ryan Reynolds is going to get talked about. Why don't we talk about the fact that at Fanatics Fest, Ryan Reynolds was at Fanatics Fest buying product, walking with the fans, touching them, not in a suit, as Ryan Reynolds, out and about, part of the community, and on top of it, was involved with activations. And the same thing, you had all these different things that are going, and you're still seeing.
I'm just saying,
like,
it doesn't
still
have to be
seeing
a competition. I love that it was a
I'm not
successful
making it a
event.
competition, but I'm telling you that it
make it a competition.
definitely
This is what makes it
established
so
itself.
interesting.
I would have hated every minute of being on the floor at San Diego Comic Con. I'm telling you that right now. Looking at the video and stuff,
Barry Bonds
Erik
was there. Be quiet.
Eric showing me the video, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I would no.
You would have hated it. You absolutely would have hated being there. Yes.
Well,
I mean, that's my big knock on San Diego is that it is uncomfortable to be. Like, it's best 5 minutes before, and the last 30 minutes. Right?
Well, that's my question
to do that floor.
As someone who's more of an outsider, at least compared to you guys, what makes for a better convention? What is actually offered on the slate of that convention? Or what's more accessible and easy for you to maximize your experience on the ground at that convention?
If they target their market audience, right? If it's a sports thing and they're doing all kinds of sports stuff, that's what I want to see. I want to see, if I'm a sports fan and I go to the thing, are they ticking off all the boxes for me? And it sounds like they did for Steven. That's fantastic. I love that. San Diego Comic-Con, did you go to see the Marvel announcements? Cool. They had some big ones, right? Like, that's their niche thing. You got to know your audience, and like, you don't want to go to FanFest and find some crochet person at the front who's making dog sweaters, right? Which is what you find a lot of times at some of these conventions. You're like, why are you here? I don't get this.
Yeah,
like,
and I get that. Like, and the one thing I'll say about that from my seat, and I have this opinion right now, that if you don't do a better job of being more entertaining as a show producer, because there's so many different shows popping up and we're seeing all these failures. I just saw another one for one of the national touring card shows that is getting blasted, and they're like one of the bigger names because 90% of their show floor was gone 4 hours left on Sunday.
Right.
And when you have things like that are happening, because now there's just so much going on in markets, they're not doing research. You have a bigger show that you're trying to bring in, you just pop it in like this. So I think you have to have more activity, more value to the consumer. I think I think this is honestly, it was proven to us in COVID, right? We saw how everybody consumed during COVID. Right? They consumed massive clips. They got all in on the stuff they were interested in. It didn't matter what area it was in, right? But they also were disinterested and out just as fast as they got in, right? So the thing is, like, you have to realize that's your consumer right now. And if you know that's your consumer, that means that this 7 seconds of, retention and 3 seconds to grab their attention, right? Like, world we live in, is what that consumer is. And if we cannot do that, and you don't do that at an event, you don't create something to remember or something to forget, because that's an important component. Then I think that's the case. And the something to forget, for an example, for us is like parking at shows is always an issue. PokeCon has a very good chance to be an absolutely nightmare for parking. Could you imagine if you guys had to park in the middle of the show day for PokeCon? Like, there's no way, right?
Yeah.
People complain all the time about that stuff. Unless your show was so entertaining and their time there was so much fun, they forgot about it by the time they get out in the parking lot.
And that's why I think San Diego Comic-Con, I may be wrong here, gets such a pass, at least if it's a year where they have a big Hall H presentation, if it's a year where they have a big showcase for the next Avengers movie, where they're going to show you some footage, where they make the 2 years before, they bring out Robert Downey Jr., new mask, same task. Like, those are the type of things that I've kind of noticed, even the little, discourse that you and Brennan have. It seems like Fanatics Fest right now is prioritizing that firsthand engagement, interactivity experience. Comic-Con more so is emphasizing, not saying you can't get that at Comic-Con, but it seems like SDCC is emphasizing the showcases and the news cycle for nerds more than the direct face-to-face.
Well, I mean, also the important thing is that San Diego really is like 5 or 6 conventions happening simultaneously,
rolled into one.
Where something like Fanatics Fest is this very concentrated.
But it's not. See, that's what's tricky is that it's not, because all of those pop culture lines bleed over into the card hobby, which they've opened up. And you have to remember, they're also the memorabilia company. And now they own the memorabilia for the WWE, and now they own the entertainment licenses.
Well, Fanatics,
Marvel, and they're getting these deals done. Topps has all these autograph licenses with some of the major Marvel cinematic, actors and stuff. This is a very real thing that I'm just going to tell you right now. Do not be surprised if this goes from being Fanatics Fest at this building to being Fanatics Fest week across the city. And I honestly think that this is where this is going to go. It's going to be like, look, this is a full week activation, that whole nine. I think this stuff is important because we need to see the change in the upper portion of the hobby, because I promise you, go and look at what Fanatics Fest looks like on a visual level as a consumer that's not there, and look at what the National Sports Card Collector Convention does, which is happening this week in Chicago. And it's got a massive floor plan and all this stuff, but go check those out. But in the meantime, I want to let you guys know we're not done talking sports. In fact, we have 10 million reasons to talk about sports coming up right after the break here on the Collector's Desk.
Peppermint Patty's the worst. Comic-Con.com, your daily comic convention online. Insightful reviews, previews of the comics, toys, and games you need to know. Delightful chats with luminaries from around the geek spectrum. In print, on video, and everywhere in between. The show never stops on Comic-Con.com.
All right, welcome back to the Collector's Desk. Of course, we are here, second segment, and have 10 million reasons to talk about this. And it's funny because, Erik, you're also on this to discuss, which generally when we talk sports, Erik tunes out, right? But the fact that this is what it is, I think really, because it's got cultural impact beyond the world of sports, right? Because when you have things that move the needle and change, like the position of history, right? In the fact that, like, in the collectible space, which, look, they blend over. The shoe collector is a sports collector. The sports collector is a toy collector. The toy collector collects comics. Like, you know what I'm saying? The comic guy collects Pokemon. Pokemon collectors collect sports cards, and there we go. Like, there's a full circle, right? So, when you have topics like this that come up, and, just briefly in the first segment, we were talking about Fanatics Fest. Fanatics Fest, obviously owned by Fanatics, and Fanatics went out and acquired Topps a few years ago, and then has amassed the licenses. And we've talked about this on the program, and they've done this. But the signature Topps product for years, because they've had the Major League Baseball license forever, right, is that these flagship sets that they're putting out now have major chases in them, right? And people's fortunes change overnight. Kids, pull cards and have a $10,000 card all of a sudden in their collection. Like, we didn't have that as a kid. We couldn't afford to buy a pack of cards that could potentially land us $1,000 card, right? The 89 Upper Deck Griffey, like, was, the card probably that had the most traction. And I think at one point, like, the most it was selling for in my childhood was like $400, right? Jordan's rookies weren't moving the needle then. His rookies come out in 86. By the time 96 comes around, I'm graduating high school, Jordan is now established himself as that guy, right? And is like, and basketball wasn't heavily collected. It started to become heavily collected. In fact, I remember 86 Fleer basketball, seeing it in 1990 at the grocery store. I remember, like, vividly remember this, because I was like, those are 4 years old, Dad. I remember talking to him about it. And it's kind of funny, but here's what's going on is Fanatics came in with a memorabilia mindset into a sports card hobby. And what they did is they realized that there was such a value in sports memorabilia. They wanted to increase that. Now, they're not doing anything new. Like, the whole memorabilia being included in the cards, that's not new. Topps has been doing it for years. You have other companies that have come along and done it. Panini's done it for a long time. But the difference is that now with Topps having the licenses they do and everything, and their relationship, say with Major League Baseball, what they've done with WWE, right? Which is they're making pieces of the memorabilia from specific moments available to the general public. Now that's something we didn't have before. We could get a jersey that was like game used. We didn't get a piece of Jordan's Nike from such and such the 1990, finals, right? You didn't get that, right? That wasn't available, and now it is. Now you've got these companies, they're putting in could you imagine the bloody sock? Like if they were putting stuff like that type of memorabilia into things. Well, now Topps is doing this. They're doing it on a pretty regular clip. They had started putting in some like cool game used memorabilia and like rare things. But then when Fanatics came along, one of the things that they did, which is, I think, was one of the really incredible things, and they've now taken it to other sports, is they took the Major League Baseball player debut and they put it on a patch. And the debut patch is for the first appearance of a player in his Major League debut. And it'll go on his sleeve, and then they collect them afterwards, and then they're randomly inserted into packs of cards with an autograph by that player as a one of one. You have the pro debut patch of this guy's rookie year. So it's literally like, it's the best looking card you can get. It has to be, because it's got that game used memorabilia. This is what Fanatics has realized. Fanatics come in very heavy with the full concept and everything. So last year, they introduced old, like, basically player awards, like things to celebrate that. And so one of the things that they did this last year is they started on certain players. They put a gold Major League Baseball patch on their jersey, right? And then those players, they would collect those, and then if those players won the award, it would become the gold logo man, and they would insert that logo man into a card. So where this went was Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge as the MVPs had their logo mans removed. You have the, you've got them for different things, the Rookie of the Year, you've got them for the different awards, right? Which is cool. But obviously the MVPs, look, that's, the creme de la creme, that's it. So what has happened is the hype is real for this. The hype has gotten crazy real. And it started out at $2.5 million. And currently today, there is a $10 million bounty on the 2024-2025 dual gold logo man Shohei Ohtani, and he signed it in both his kanji and his English signature. This card has a bounty currently of $10 million. It started at $2.5 million. Then you saw someone offered $3 million. Someone went to $5 million. Someone went to $6.5 million. And then the $10 million offer is out there in the market. Now, one thing I can tell you is this. They were doing this with the NBA logo mans from LeBron James on championship jerseys with Panini. So Panini kind of like started this a little before, right? So they were buying these jerseys and then removing these items and creating these, rare limited edition cards. And one of the biggest chases was this LeBron James triple logo man that everyone was looking for. And it went for obscene amounts of money, and it sold on Golden, and it was a big, big deal. And now you have people out there that are putting a $10 million bounty out on a card that we don't even know is 10 million the market then. Like, it could be 15, it could be 20. But what it is you now have a chance to purchase a 2026 Topps Chrome baseball pack of cards, hobby box. It could be in a retail product like a Blaster or a Mega, right? And you could pull this card, and there's a bounty out on this card for $10 million. And to give you an idea of where that puts in the perspective of the Shohei Ohtani cards, which right now, in the modern era, Shohei Ohtani's autographs, low number parallels, and game used memorabilia are the top selling items in any of the sports. right? Those cards are going for crazy amounts of money, right? And it basically, like, you kind of go down it. You have a Topps Dynasty. This was a rookie of Shohei, or not a rookie. I'm sorry. This was the 50-50 logo man. And the 50-50 logo man was for his 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases season, right? So the jersey, the logo man off that jersey, that one sold for $1.06 million. Then he had a rookie card of his one-of-one Topps Chrome pitching autograph variation that sold for $2.5 million. Then you had the 2018, another rookie card, Chrome Superfractor, the batting version. Superfractors are a gold vinyl looking card that are one-of-ones. That card sold for $3.3 million. Graded as a BGS 9.5. And then the 2025 Topps Chrome MVP award logo man, single MVP logo man, sold for $3 million. And now you have a dual logo man of Shohei Ohtani with a asking of $10 million. So Erik, I'll start with you on this because I know that's a big setup and a big explanation, but I think the viewers needed to understand the scope of what this is. Where do you see this now in the pop culture realm? Because look, sports has become pop culture, right? It's you got Naruto is doing a crossover with the Yankees. The Dodgers have been doing stuff with One Piece. Pokemon has done, things like sports are pop culture now, right?
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, they always have been. I mean, and to make a pop culture thing, I mean, the way you're explaining this to me, it's like this is a Wonka ticket.
Yes,
like that's the experience someone is going to have. They're going to open the foil and find this thing, and their life is going to change. Like, that's kind of amazing that sports collectibles can offer somebody a legitimate Willy Wonka moment.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is it's not just this one thing can do that for you, though. Like, remember I said there's different ones. So Game Day Arkansas ripped some packs on a live stream for a customer because they weren't able to get down to the shop. There was some reason they did it, right? Wasn't a normal thing. Like, they normally wouldn't rip in that, like, for that, but it was for this one particular customer. They get down there and they rip the Aaron Judge gold logo man auto, which is estimated to be over $1 million, right? And it was some kid, like 9-year-old, 10-year-old kids, like that, it's so cool to see that, like, this type of thing changes in the hobby. And Brett, you've been seeing for years the sports memorabilia. Like, there was a period of time where sports memorabilia was like king of the walk, right?
Yeah.
If you could get an autograph of, Stan Musial, it was like really valuable. Like, and that, that's not the biggest one of the eras, right?
No, exactly. Memorabilia to me has always been a bigger needle mover than the card, simply because it pinpoints a moment. Card pinpoints more so a profile, even if it's a profile for a specific year. On a year-by-year basis for collectors, nothing beats cards. And I'm sure you would agree with that, Steve, because it's literally a true reset button every year that you could kind of chronologically track. Memorabilia is something very specific that's not meant to be tracked. It's meant to be over the course of time. It's meant to be pinpointed and kind of captured in time, right? And that's what's so interesting about that, because there's the element, much like what Erik was mentioning, there's an element of sentimental value. There's an element of nostalgia. There's an element of like, oh my God, my dream is coming true. Pinch me, is this really happening? And to me, that's why it's always moved the needle more in terms of that side of the hobby, in terms of that side of fandom. Sports cards are more for, look at what I got. You know what I mean? There's some memorabilia that you don't like, that's so sacred, you may not even show to people because you don't want anybody to know you have it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that. But what's so cool about memorabilia is the fact that, again, the specificity. This is now the bridge between that gap, where a card may seem a little generic, a little more, I guess you could say it's, it's very metric, quantifiable, statistic type based with all the numbers. This is more something that's a little more visual based, a little bit more appealing with the aesthetic. And it just gives you a different feeling while also being something that you could kind of hold like a plaque that you get with a famous trading card. So in many ways, and you've kind of alluded to it, Steve, it's the best of both worlds. And that's what's so cool to me. You get kind of that handiness of the trading card, but you get the sentimentality of the actual memorabilia and the apparel.
Well, and to me, it makes me think that like the casual consumer does it from a financial standpoint.
Yes.
Is actually going to pay more attention to the regular season and that stuff because they're going to want to see who these guys are and know about it and everything.
And it's funny because
look, this card, $10 million, guys. Go out, buy yourself some Topps Chrome baseball. You're going to pay probably around $80 to $100 for a blaster, probably $150 for a mega. And I'm guessing hobby boxes are probably in the $600-700 range currently. And this is not any market numbers for sure, but that's just kind of an idea to think. Go out, buy yourself something. It is Willy Wonka's golden ticket. Great opportunity to do it. But they've been doing it with other stuff too, right? So they introduced this to WWE, and now there's ring-worn match, like identifiable. The patches are specific to that event that are being put into the WWE product, which I think is a huge thing. And you're also seeing some of this inclusion where they're including pieces of like, Marvel characters, outfits and stuff in the product as well. Now that's something that's been going on. However, I think that the scope on the cards of that market have increased and really gone. Look, the memorabilia thing is real. What used to be memorabilia, go buy your jerseys, go buy your footballs, go buy your stuff. That consumer is now in sports cards chasing the memorabilia inside the cards.
You're bringing one world into the other. And do you think, Steve, more companies and just more brands in general, so more companies regarding the Topps Upper Deck types, but also the Marvels, the Star Wars, all the IPs, right? All the big shared universes.
Well, the nice thing is
franchises. Do they venture into that world, like basically the floodgates open up because of this?
Well, and I think too, so a couple things, but one thing I think is once pointed out, Paul Vato will be joining us in the third segment, by the way, and he's with us, but he had asked a question about the pricing and stuff, and then also Brendan Allen chimed in our chat and basically just said that cards are easier to transport. It's true, right? It's easier to collect a box of trading cards over a box of comics, over a box of toys, over jerseys, over everything increases, everything gets bigger, right? So I think that helps. But I think just that inclusion of the memorabilia collector, because the memorabilia collector was your biggest shoe collector, right? They were shoe collector, memorabilia collector. They went side by side. I think that you're going to see more of this identifiable. I think you're going to see things. And actually what I want to see, and I think that this is going to be a very real thing. Could you imagine if there was first day set, mem patches made for the different outfits that were worn during these different movie shoots that, they shoot Doom, and the very first time he dons the Doom suit, first
cape
appearance of it, boom. It's like inside on the back, like it's there, right? And they showcase it and they show it off. Look, that's probably not very far-fetched. That's probably already in the works. That's probably something they're already planning on doing.
I want Kevin Feige's ball cap.
Exactly. No, you're going to have that ability. I promise you.
Yeah. Like, you mean this ball cap?
Yes.
That one right there.
He's looking
that's
for
funny
it right now.
That's perfect because coming up after the break, Erik's going to be taking us to San Diego Comic-Con, and we are going to be talking all about what happened, the announcements. We already saw Victor Von Doom today, but we are going to find out more. And in fact, why was Ryan Reynolds not on the stage? Well, anyways, he's going to let us know, and we'll be back right here on the Collector's Desk.
He's got the scoop.
Peppermint Patty's the worst. Comic-Con.com, your daily comic convention online. Insightful reviews of the comics, toys, and games you need to know. Delightful chats with luminaries from around the geek spectrum. In print, on video, and everywhere in between. The show never stops on Comic-Con.com.
It occurs to me now I should have re-recorded the audio for that with Doom's voice.
But you have to speed it up because remember you had to
would still have to speed up. That is true. It is absolutely true.
And then
Peppermint Patty is the worst.
Then you sound like Victor Von
is the worst.
Duh.
It would be super difficult, but it might be worth doing.
I am glad that you guys fired that bald asshole from that first little segment of the commercial though, because that dude looked like a pain in the ass.
Right, exactly. Anyway, it is time to return to the Collector's Desk, and it's also time to do my Comic-Con wrap-up, which I actually put some footage together for, so y'all can enjoy this for the next 4 minutes or so.
4 minutes. I'm getting a snack.
Is this really happening?
So this is actually inside Hall H.
Wow. Wow.
For those who haven't been and have always wondered what it looks like. And here's a not crowded Comic-Con corridor. Lascelles
That's
giant,
Lego.
No, that's not the Lego bridge. That's Lascelles Bridge, which is gigantic. And the upcoming Hasbro. I'm a little sad that my camera doesn't capture just how loud it was in there, because it's crazy loud.
You can hear it struggling to do the noise cancellation though.
Just some random assortment of photos, some booths, Four Horsemen's cool action figure
I
stuff.
played football with Ed Sheeran, and
Is that Ed Sheeran?
lied to these
No,
guys.
that's
and
Owen
pretended that
Arthur
he
from
wrote the shape of
the
you
Lord of the Rings
for
team.
me. So the song goes, oh wine, oh wine, oh wine, oh wine.
Wine Arthur.
I'm in love with your body. Anyway,
These are the new Gundam for the upcoming series and video game. Trogdor, consummate beast.
You didn't get the side shot of Trogdor though. That's the money shot.
I know I should have, but so on the Lord of the Rings series, these guys are going to be the Nazgul before they become the Nazgul. So they have the rings, but they're not wraiths yet.
take your time. That's just how they move. You did great.
This is from the Snoopy pop-up.
You didn't buy me that hat?
No, I didn't. I bought a Stay Cool Joe Cool towel, which was cool.
Eric, bro.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. Huge fan. Look at that cast. Thank you. I'm not wearing the Doom mask over this mask because I didn't want to ruin the lines of my Canadian tuxedo. That's a mononym like Cher or Madonna. And I'm just cosplaying hard.
Is there a question in
I do have a question, actually. I have a question for two questions. First question is for Mr. Paul Rudd. Where is Thor, and why was he crying?
He's a Wrexham fan.
You know goddamn well why he was crying. Second question. So there's no additional photography, no overages, hot costs, maybe last-minute additions.
We keep making the movie until they pry it out of our hands. So.
No further questions. We're leaving.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Reynolds!
Some Star Trek Magic the Gathering for you. Some Labyrinth action figures.
Hall H.
And one final look. This is Sunday right before I left.
You could feel the energy drop on that Sunday
Right?
shot.
Yeah. No, right. It is hilarious how Sunday is just kind of. I mean, it is genuinely the slow day. Although I got to tell you, right around noon, it was nuts.
Well, Steve mentioned it when he was talking about the conventions or whatever, how Sunday sometimes can feel like a letdown. But it's like if you advertise that the Sunday tickets are cheaper because it's the less popular day and that you're doing a half day, And if you catch somebody after 2 o'clock, good for you. But the booths are open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then everybody does their get out day. I think that those discount tickets on Sunday do a lot for the gate and do a lot for like last minute purchase and stuff because people realize the urgency of it. I only have 3 hours. But then it does really drop off right before those last couple hours.
Yeah,
no, exactly. Deal with parking and traffic and
getting in and out of San Diego is real tough.
San Diego sucks. Anyway, the Ryan Reynolds thing, man, I sent you the pictures and I'm glad you had the video because this is really cool. Adam Savage does this with the conventions that he promotes, like SillyCon up in the Bay Area, where he will spend 6 months working on a brilliant cosplay that hides his face or whatever, but a lot of them are mechanical and they're just really, really well done. And then he will walk the show floor and take pictures with fans and other cosplayers and things. And people don't realize until after when he does his blasts of Instagram photos from the thing or whatever, who he was on the floor, and it shows his process pictures of making the cosplay and stuff. So Ryan Reynolds did a denim pool, and he was in this costume all weekend long and was going around taking pictures until the Marvel Hall H event, because after that everybody knows it's him. But all of these people were taking pictures with him because it's a great cosplay, but also he was just able to be out and about and around the fans and stuff without getting mobbed by all these Deadpool nerds. And I think that's a really cool way to do interactions, but it also engages the cosplay community because you never know who's under the mask. And so when you know that Adam Savage is there, or you know that there's a bunch of celebrities there and they might be cosplaying or something like that, you're going to look a little closer or take a few more pictures, because that becomes a much more interesting facet of this whole experience.
Yeah, I remember one year Bryan Cranston was walking around in a Walter White costume with a Walter White mask on. It was only during the Breaking Bad panel where he took the mask off and revealed that it was him all along. And I know Matt Smith used to do that too when he was the Doctor. He would get like not even really elaborate cosplays, just kind of crappy cosplays, but it would always have the full pullover mask so that he could just kind of roam around and have fun. Which is way different from back in the day when Tobey Maguire was stalking me.
Tobey Maguire stalked you?
That's a story for another day. That's a story for another day. Yes, there was a San Diego where I was just kind of roaming the convention and I would look behind me and like Tobey Maguire would be looking at whatever I just looked at. It was really weird.
I mean, was it a sex thing, do you think?
No, I don't think so, because, I don't think he's that into guys. So I don't know what it was. And then when I got back to LA, I kept running into him. It was weird. I'm like, dude, I'm not stalking you. This is just, we clearly have similar interests, and that's terrifying to me.
I need you to start taking pictures of Tobey Maguire every time that you think he's stalking you, because I'm starting to feel like maybe it's the other way around and you're trying to cover.
It's not. It is absolutely not. And thankfully it hasn't happened in like 15 years. So we're good on that. But key takeaways from the Marvel panel. Ryan Gosling is Ghost Rider now. He's going to be Ghost Rider. The best actor in Alien Romulus is the new Black Panther, David Johnston, which is super cool.
Is that a new Black Panther because the other guy died? Are they doing that out of respect, or is it the same character he's taken over?
No, he's going to be T'Challa's son, who's also named T'Challa.
So he's taking the mantle, not the character.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
We lost and Sean Levy's going to direct this Ghost Rider movie, and he's also directing the next Star Wars movie, Starfighter. So Sean Levy is all about that Disney dollar now, I guess.
Is it Levy?
It's Levy, isn't it? L-E-V.
I've always thought it was L-E-V-Y. I always thought it was Levy.
Maybe it's Levy. I could be wrong. I could very easily be wrong. Okay. I would swear it's Levy, but maybe it is Levy.
Well, I mean, Feige is a weird pronunciation.
No, right, exactly. And I mean, it is that sort of name where you can have both pronunciations depending on who's saying it first.
Well, depending on whether you're right or wrong. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Lawson says it's pronounced both ways. Don't correct me, fool. You're in the green room for a reason.
Well, a buddy of mine, one of the creators of Modern Family, I was in a movie, a short with him, big handsome guy and little fella, or what, I forgot what it was called. But he used to go by Jason Weiner, and then he did change it to Jason Weiner. No. Weiner to Winner.
Better than Weiner, because you would rather be known for your junk than for being somebody who complains all the time, right?
At the end, I think it was Winner. So Jason Winner.
And then of course, because they always do give stuff away in these. Well, not in every panel, but in most of them, like the Doom mask that I had on earlier. They also gave away this awesome.
Oh, that was a giveaway?
Portrait. Yeah, portrait of
That
Doom.
is cool.
I do have a copy of this. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. One of the best panels that I've ever been to, because I love Halloween, was Jamie Lee Curtis up on the stage with a couple of the other cast or whatever. And Jamie Lee Curtis is a fantastic panel. But they gave out, I've got them around somewhere here, but they gave out these paper cutouts of Michael Myers and Jamie Lee Curtis on sticks. And they're like masks, kind of, but they were like laminated. It wasn't just paper like stuck to a piece of a stick. It's something like I've had it now for 3 or 4 years and they look great and I just keep them on the walls or whatever. But it's really good printing. It's really good cardstock. It's laminated. Like I said, it's the adhesive that holds the stick on it is really good or whatever. So when they go out and they do a giveaway that's worth actually keeping, I always appreciate that. I hate it when they give away like bubblegum shit that's just going to fall apart in the car on the way home.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So it was, I mean, it was a lot. It always is a lot. It's San Diego Comic-Con is 4.5 days of just constant people and constant stuff.
It's like getting locked in a closet with Paul Vato for an hour.
Kind of.
It could be a lot.
Did you, by chance, and maybe I should have tried to set something up beforehand, would have probably been smart. Did you, by chance, run into any of my friends from Mad TV? Because they did a panel with another friend, Brandy Stillwell, who used to work at Mad TV. Maybe she was an editor or something, but now she does something called Mad Rewind, where it was, to me, it was kind of like that golden age of Mad TV with like Nicole Sullivan, Mo Collins, Mike McDonald, Phil Lamar, I think was there as well. And I'm sure Josh Myers, you know, and they had a panel and seemed to have been very successful. And of course, it was hilarious because they're all the Mad TV people. And it broke my heart that I was not able to be there. I was almost like, oh man, I got to get out there. But I'd love to bring them to Chicago to do some kind of panel like
Paul
that.
invited himself to San Diego, and they were like, "We'll get back to you on that."
Yeah. I did see Nicole signing, but just in passing because I'm always on my way to somewhere. So, but I did notice that she was signing in the autograph area, which I thought was cool.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Gosh, what else have we got? So the Spaceballs thing, which is kind of funny because they're finally making the sequel, which they've decided to call the next one. And during the panel, they joked that it was just the beginning of the Spaceballs cinematic universe. Although, who knows how much of this could end up being true? Like, there's always the possibility.
I love how much Spaceballs trolls Star Wars and how much Star Wars is there for it. Because the whole deal was, go ahead and spoof our movie. We're not going to sue you for shit as long as you don't make any merchandise, right? And so that was the deal. Is they made the film, they made 6 different versions of the film, they keep putting it out there, and like that's the thing, it's like, yeah, make fun of us, it's funny, I've read the script, it's hilarious, but you just can't make any merch. And I love that, like, this map, it's really not that far-fetched because you look at the shit that they've made for Star Wars and it's like, you know, it's Star Wars this minor character, Star Wars this minor character, now it's the animated, but hey, don't forget about the comics and don't forget about this and blah, 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 blah. And this is pretty accurate to the phases of Star Wars because phase 1 was actually, well, phase 2 was actually phase 1, but phase 2, and then they got the prequel phase, and then the phase that came after, and then they're like, and here's all this peripheral stuff, and now we've got streaming, so we're gonna make 7,000 shows. Like, it's so on the nose that it's almost like, are they really gonna make these films?
Well, I mean, phase 7 is entirely the musical, so
I'm for it. I would go and see that musical.
It would be hilarious. Also, we've got a
Shohei Ohtani, apparently.
Oh, I didn't mean to put that there. Sorry. What I meant to put was the Brett clarification count, because apparently the correct pronunciation is in fact Levy.
Or Levy. He says you can say both.
You can say both, but apparently the more accurate pronunciation is Levy. So,
yeah. So Eugene Levy says Levy. I'm gonna go with Levy.
Eugene Levy.
Yeah.
And I guess Sean Levy. I'll have to get used to that because I have been saying Levy for many years.
Well, when they keep pairing him up with Feige, I mean, you've got to say it weird, I guess.
Right, maybe that's the answer. So also Steve asked a question about Funko, and that apparently exclusives are already going for crazy prices on eBay. When I finally walked over to that corner, because they're always in the far corner next to Hall H, and it's madness every year. Like there used to be a Tiki booth that was opposite the Funko alley, and those guys, I think, were simultaneously in love with the fact that they were selling stuff so easily, but I noticed that Tiki booth is gone. They have moved elsewhere.
He was saying for the thousands, and the ones that I'm seeing, I am seeing them for high hundreds, 500, 600, 700, 800. Here's a set of 3 for $750. That's a lot of money, though. I mean, what are they charging at the booth? They're probably charging, what, 40, 50 bucks for it?
I mean, it must be your retail price, probably.
The ones for the thousands
50s
have either been pulled, repriced, or sold, because all I'm seeing on here is like 800. Better here than there. Thousands from the show floor sold. Okay. So they're already sold.
I mean,
so
it may have also been like
the current listings. So maybe what I'm looking at is what's still available because it's like less desirable or less collectible or whatever. But there's a couple on here for like $40. I see that. I wouldn't spend 300. Here's the thing about Funko though. I always tell people, like, when you look at Funko as collectibles, if it means something to you, and that's how I collect everything. If it means something to you personally, spend what you're going to spend on it. But like, if you're looking at it as an investment, that's where Steve gets into all of his analytics and all that stuff of like, this was the last sale on that or whatever. But if somebody's offering me a Friends set of Funko, and I've got 2 or 3 different sets of Friends Funko right there, actually, I'm looking at them right now. I'll spend, $10, $15 per piece, but they just make me happy. I know they're worthless. I'm not going to get $15 back out of them. And when I die, they're going to go in a trash bin somewhere. But the sale made me happy because I got to bring that home because it's something that I love. And that's what I think about with Funko. It's like, it's a goofy little representation of a fandom that you really enjoy. Spend what you're going to spend. Right. But when you're talking about the thousands per, that's crazy territory for me for a little piece of vinyl.
Yeah, I will also say this for Funko. Their conversion of Mondo from a poster company to a toy company is complete now. And those toys are amazing. They're way, way out of my price range. They start at triple digits. But they're cool looking. Like,
right, but
if I could afford those Ghostbusters, I would get them.
Here's the complete set from 2 years ago at SDCC 2024 that's listed for $650 or best offer. And that's 31 pieces in the box.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So yes, San Diego continues to be San Diego. Like, no economic downturn, no removal of Hollywood. Nothing seems to stop this thing. It just constantly feels intense and bigger, and every year, or maybe I'm just getting too old for this sort of thing. But that was my experience.
I feel like at some point they're going to either have to build inward, or they're going to have to cap it, right? Because people like me just won't even walk through the door at the level that it's at now. I can't even imagine it getting twice the size. I don't see where they would scale it from here.
No, and they basically can't. But I mean, the convention is going to be there at least till 2030. So
Steve says that they're opening bids for Las Vegas. Starting 2030. So Las Vegas is bidding to bring San Diego Comic-Con to Las Vegas. That would be something though, because I would go to that. I mean, if it was in Las Vegas, I would go because there's so many other things I can do in Vegas. There was a point at my own convention that I was working that Steve brought me out to, right? There was a point where my kid was there and I was there and I was just so overwhelmed with what's going on. I was like, fuck it, let's go to the Wax Museum. And we went 2 miles up the strip and went to Madame Tussauds, and we were there for an hour and a half, and then we came back and got back into it or whatever. But there's so many ways to get out. I feel like once you're at the San Diego Convention Center, you're kind of locked there.
Right. No, it's true. It's true. I mean, it's even got to the point of, so there's I always joke about the mile-long freight train that uses the tracks between the convention center and the Gaslamp District. I saw that damn train so many times this year. And if you're caught behind it and you're trying to get to food in the Gaslamp, you're stuck getting one of the hotels going to the restaurant at one of the hotels on the side of the tracks that you're on.
Well, that's one thing.
There's just no hope. That is, you're waiting 20 minutes for that mile-long freight train to pass by.
Steve was talking about the parking situation at PokeCon. He's like, could you imagine if? And it's like, that's one of the things that I really enjoy about doing it there too, is that, and what is it? It's Planet Comic-Con in Missouri is the same way, where it's like the hotel is here and there's a sky bridge that goes across to the convention center, and it's like it's just right there. Like, you park and you stay there because all the restaurants are within a block, and your car's already parked, and the convention center is you just hop on this thing and go across and then drop down. I like the ones that are built that way. Like in New York, when you have to go 6 miles, and 6 miles is crazy distance to go in New York, because you have to either get a cab or Uber or like whatever the thing. The proximity of hotel to convention center, I think works really well. And I don't know what it's like in San Diego, but I know that some of them.
I mean, for the most part, it's not bad. If you've got a downtown hotel, it gets worse when you're up in Fashion Valley or even the Sheraton by the airport. Like if you're within a mile, it's no problem. It's once you're out of that mile.
What's the public transport like there?
They have like light rail, a trolley system that actually isn't bad. But if you're up in those Fashion Valley hotels, it's going to take about an hour for you to get to the convention center. It's a little rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once you're in the convention center, and I have another question as well. How far from, say, because like I remember at McCormick Place, you're at the convention center, and then it's another half-hour walk to where everything is. Is San Diego similar, or it's taking you an hour to get there, but now you walk in and it's right there?
Similar but easier, because McCormick, having been there, like, you know how it's weird, like floors stacked on top of each other. You can only use some escalators to get to certain spots. The San Diego Convention Center is just one straight line.
Got it.
And it's very simple. The escalators will get you wherever you need to go. If I'm starting from Hall A and I need to get to Hall H, it's just one direction. And there's no weird stairs in the way. There's nothing.
Just regular stairs, no weird stairs.
There's nothing obstructing your path except other people. Like that's it.
Got it. And then
and those other people get straight the hell out of the way if you elbow them in the ribs in the right spot.
No. And then did you share this? And I don't know if you're willing to share it. Where did you stay, and how far in advance did you book your room there, or are you living out of your car?
Wait. Can I answer this? Because this is the same thing with Erik everywhere he goes. He's always got a group of like 8 people that go in on the cheapest hotel room where there's one
cheapest. This is absolutely
well,
not.
at San Diego, there's no cheap one, but they get the best deal that they can. And then it's just sleep where you fall, because there's one bed and 18 people in there.
4 people actually. It's 4 people, and it is a nearby location. I'll put it that way, because people that I split the room with are exhibitors, so they do need to be there.
Split a room with them, Paul, because Erik likes to be the big spoon, and you're just too damn tall.
But you don't always have to be a stereotype and load up that many Latinos in a room. Or
I like that you made it racial, but it had nothing at all to do with that. It has to do with the cost of these damn hotels. And anytime that San Diego's going on, those rates go double and triple because they know you're going to pay.
Sure.
Right.
100%. 100%.
So
we were in Chicago, the shout out to the IO Fest, Improv Olympic, what it used to be called, IO Fest, a big improv fest. So people were coming in from all over. And it was the perfect storm in that there was not a single room in the Chicago land area. The WNBA was here. There was, I don't know who it was, but there was a big Latino artist at like Soldier Field. And it was literally the perfect storm where no one had rooms. We had to keep driving towards Wisconsin to finally find, like an hour outside of Chicago to finally find something.
You said you were driving, just park.
Well, I have a CPAP machine, and I enjoy a nice hotel room. So.
Right, exactly. And the last thing I'm going to say is I have a Doom mask now, so everything is good in the world.
That's
what's important.
Okay, when you first put that thing on, and we were talking about it before anybody showed up or whatever, I was like, wow, it looks really nice. It looks very uncomfortable. But now you're putting it around. It was free, that it was a giveaway. And for that sturdiness of a free giveaway, and for the, they put the, oh shit, I had the word earlier today and now I can't think of it. The little rondelles, they put the rondelles on the cape, and they did all this stuff or whatever. Like, they were actually making that a thing that you can take home, you can display, you can give to your kid. They're going to play with it. It's not going to get broken the first time it comes out. I think that's really cool. I wouldn't have paid for it because of the size of the thing or whatever, but if they're giving it to me, that is a fantastic giveaway.
Yeah, it also covers my costume if I go to a Halloween party this year. I will just be Doom. It's as simple as that. So when we return, everyone will be in to wrap this thing up. So join us when we return here on the Collector's Desk. Peppermint Patty's the worst.
Comic-Con.com, your daily comic convention online. Insightful reviews, previews of the comics, toys, and games you need to know. Delightful chats with luminaries from around the geek spectrum. In print, on video, and everywhere in between. The show never stops on Comic-Con.com.
Hey, welcome in the Collector's Desk. Extra credit time. That's right. This is where we really get it out. And by the way, Brendan, all the things that you've been talking about today, none of them are factual, make any sense. And honestly,
that's not
if you want to get engagement on the internet, you don't ask a question, you state the incorrect information, and people come out of the woodwork to correct you. So I know exactly what I'm doing. This is a science.
And I mean, you are the correction king. So look, I'm not, I'm not going to say that you're not, right?
No, isn't that wild? Like, people are so ready to like shoot people down that they'll watch something and be like, no, I've got to set them straight.
But
and
the funny thing
is the engagement.
But the funny thing is, half the time since they have a confirmation bias and a preconceived notion, they hear what they want to hear, and then you go back and you say, "All right, play back the tape. Where did I say what you just mentioned? Where did I say what you just alluded to?"
If somebody said I said it, I guarantee I said it at some point. I just don't remember.
But that's fair too. But I'm saying a lot of people distort things as well in the comments, to where it's like, no, it's not a me issue, it's a you and your comprehension issue. But it goes.
Well, the thing is actually, so when you say that, that's actually Paul in the comments, right? Paul actually goes in with comments to distort the perception and to make sure that things look awkward and off.
I randomly sometimes want to do that, like misspell a word when I post something or say something so incorrect. Not to be funny, but to have people just correct it. But then I just can't get myself to hit.
No, you just have to be 5 degrees off of center, and people will come out. And that's the thing, is like, so you want to have a general idea of what you're talking about, but get one fact just slightly wrong, and people will come at it.
They'll come at you.
That's it. Like, you go in actually acting like you know everything about it, and everything's factual except this one thing. Right? Yeah, and you plug that one thing in there, and then what you do is you get your popcorn and you sit back and you just watch.
And Paul, I don't know if you're privy to this, but I think in a moment here, we're going to have an iconic supervillain join us. So just brace yourself and make it a little scary here.
Oh, why you got spoiled, man?
I know.
Huh?
You know what it is?
I know.
I can tell you what it is right now.
That's called a tease.
It's the sportscaster in him, dude. As soon as the breaking news is up, he's like, gotta be first. Water's purified.
Here's what really happened is me and Eric had a meeting before you guys came here, and he hasn't been able to take a pee break for the last 2 hours, and so he had to go to the can.
Well, that's a spoiler. I'm
trying to diffuse the spoiler that you already let.
That's just a behind the scenes letdown.
I don't know. You know what though? I do have to say, and I'm gonna call this out. Right? We didn't close the podcast the way we would normally close the podcast.
Well, we're not finished with it yet.
I know.
There's like 10 minutes left.
Yeah. I know. But I don't. But the thing is the best surprises are not actually in the middle of this. The best surprises are at the end.
When we find out about all the amazing products and services that Paul is shilling,
we have time.
I mean, that's usually the thing. You know,
was that Monsters Inc? I don't even. What is that?
No, it's upside down pineapples, ladies.
Yeah. That is a hockey franchise, sir.
You know, pineapples ripen better when they are upside down because that's how they grow.
Mm-hmm.
And
we need more.
Other swingers know.
The show.
And avocados, if you put them in a jar of water and stick them in the fridge, they don't spoil in 17 hours in your kitchen.
Can I tell you right now that it is just awkward that he knows a lot about pineapples? Paul, take it away.
Oh man, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Right now
we're not done. Wait, what is going on here?
I didn't say we were done. I was passing the pineapple to Paul, but apparently he can't.
But why though?
I was going to start talking about
influencer. I can imagine that everything would be okay.
Paul actually talk.
It's my new swingers club. I'm promoting the new lifestyle. So folks, if you're into the swinging, by all means.
Can you imagine getting invited to a swinger party and the door gets kicked open and Paul Vato fucking rips open his shirt? He's like, "I'm here, ladies."
I like that it's only going to be ladies and Paul Vato. So thank you.
That's how he rolls.
The buyer's remorse, the just like questioning every decision in your life that led you to that point. Can you imagine the mad rush of just horror?
You know, the explanation that you just gave might actually be Erik Amaya's current reaction to this conversation.
He's not coming back.
He may be having buyer's remorse.
He's not coming back.
Then he should be here.
Could be 16 seconds long after he edits out all the unsavory parts.
He's gone.
Oh, of course.
That's what he gets for not being here, fellas. So
hey, bounce.
That's funny.
Yeah. Go ahead. Tell us about your swinger party.
Oh, it's in the works. Paul PaulVatoSwings.com. And again, it's for ladies only, and Paul Vato. So lipstick, lesbians preferably.
I actually think that your motto should be putting the V in swinger. Oh man,
Wow.
that's too good. Dude, hey, we were talking about
what I love too
Tony
is
and Paul O'Neill. Or no, it's
Pat.
not Paul O'Neill. What's his name? Pat O'Neill. Pat O'Neill.
I was gonna say you got me.
Paul O'Neill's a baseball player.
Yes, that very good.
Dude, that
one.
would it would be phenomenal if that happened. That would be amazing. But no, he is hilarious. That first time golden ticket.
See, I told you he just had to
full
pee.
timer on the show.
Damn it.
Just kind of cool.
You were expecting Doom?
Yes.
Dude's
No,
hilarious.
not this time. No Doom this time.
You ruined the good surprise for Paul.
Yep.
It's
the villain. It's the
villain.
villain.
I'm sorry. I thought he had a mask on.
I did have something I want to talk about though, since it's Paul's turn.
I have something to talk about.
Did you guys see the return of Val Venus to the ring? This guy who's been talking shit about Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn and stuff, and he's like, man, these guys look like they would carry my luggage back in the day and blah, 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 blah. He did his comeback, and my man is 55. He's like 7 years older than me. He looks like he's 85. He's got the moves happening. He's got some weird ass chin strap that's white and no other hair or anything. He looks like Road Dogg's little brother. He looks like the third Armstrong brother. And he came out and wrestled the worst 6-minute match. He was so gassed even just coming down to the ring. And this guy is on Instagram today talking shit about the current roster of WWE and AEW.
Might as well
really
be
pissed.
WCW.
He's really pissed. He's going way back.
Yeah, he's going back to the 90s.
Yeah. No, and honestly, the funny thing is, until you mentioned his name yesterday in our little group chat, the last time I remember hearing about Val Venus was when he was posting about Sami Zayn complaining and whining. I'm like, enough of this geezer. Even though
Sami
55
Zayn
is
in
normally
100 times better
wrestling world
condition
is.
than Sean Morley is right now. And Sean Morley is just talking shit all day long on Insta about the current roster and stuff. He's like, I would trash this guy. He's like, bro, go back to the gym or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Or you could even make sure you could get in the ring without blowing up. Paul, what do you got?
Yeah. What were you saying, Paul? Sorry.
So, and maybe this is for next week, but Dr. Ken just posted apparently Koreans, a fellow actor, comedian, Koreans are investing in the A's, and it's maybe Chung-Ho Park, Daniel Dae Kim, and Dr. Ken Jeong. And I, of course, hope I don't get blocked by any of them because I did go. Obviously, the name of the stadium should change to Chung-Ho Park, where you will have both night and day games, DAE. Can you hear what I'm saying? And then I put a rice bowl, the North Korean flag, and a baseball. But apparently, these Korean actors, comedians are investing in the A's. Have you guys heard anything about that? And obviously it's A's because...
Well, you could see the smoke coming out of Steve's ears as he's checking your facts right now.
But obviously they would never invest in a team that's, B's or C's. Their parents would be very
upset. The A's
upset.
have an affiliate team that's called the Bees.
Oh, no.
Brendan,
bought stake in the A's.
Brendan just walked all over Paul's amazing punchline. Paul, I heard it. Repeat it.
What's the punchline? What's the punchline?
Well, their parents would never allow them to
I tell you
invest
guys
in
I have
anything.
an appointment later after this?
The one time he actually has a good joke, and Brendan just won't let him go.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No,
Look, I'll mute my microphone. Go ahead. Say your punchline.
He's gonna
Obviously,
he's doing the thing.
Obviously, their parents would never let them invest in a team that's not the A's. They're not going to invest in a team that's B's, C's, or anything other than the A's.
Oh, because of helicopter parenting.
No, because they're Asian, and every single Asian are smart.
Do you not know what helicopter parenting is?
This is a disaster.
Oh my god!
I thought helicopter is where you just leave them, let them be, or let them go, or something.
No, it's the opposite.
No, it's where you're constantly hovering.
Jesus then yes, that's why.
Tiger moms and helicopter parents are very rooted a certain ethnicity. Let's just say that.
Paul, just
helicopter
pretend
parenting
it was
is
your
the
normal
general
Friday
practice.
night when you were a 12-year-old kid, right?
And tiger
helicopter
parents are the ones-
hovering. Look,
Got it.
Right. Okay.
Got it. Which is what I miss out here at Red Granite, Wisconsin. I can't even sleep. No helicopters.
Are you not Asian?
No. Well, I look Asian, so that's why I can make Asian jokes.
I will tell you though, Paul, that you have found the one place in the world with the best internet connection of all time.
This is where you need to come from.
He has like, I think he has like a 720 camera, right? And it looks like it's in like 8K.
I'm moving to Red Granite, Wisconsin.
I mean,
it's not any more random than whatever freaking Chicago suburb you're living in now. You went from Las Vegas to like Beantown. What do they call Chicago?
Boston is Beantown.
The Windy City. The Windy City, my friend.
Is Boston not near Chicago?
No, it's not.
Are all the states on the East Coast just smashed together in like within driving distance?
Illinois is in the Midwest, sir. It's not in the
all
East.
of a sudden the correction monster is just absolutely like
swinging and missing.
Something happened in the moment. I don't know. Like
he won't wrong side of the bed.
Actually, you know what? I think I know what it is. It's like, you know, when you hypnotize someone, right? Erik has a hypnotism over
with Dr. Doom,
Brendan, because as soon as he came back on, Brendan got dumber.
It's the Doom
like I don't know, but you know, it's like he you know, he wants to make sure he presents himself in a less favorable
that actually
fashion.
is a common misconception though. Everyone like realizes Illinois is in the Midwest, but they forget that Chicago is in Illinois, so they associate
but they
Chicago
call it the
with
Midwest,
metro
but it's nowhere near the
Northeast.
mid or the west. It's still East Coast. If you look geographically, the Midwest is closer to the Atlantic than it is to the Pacific.
But it's not the East Coast.
At all.
No.
At all.
It's not the East Coast.
I'm pretty sure that when they got about a third of the way across the United States, they had no idea how far they were. And they're like, this looks like it's halfway. We're about halfway there. And then they finished their trek to California.
A third of the way.
Yeah. Midwest is best, yo.
Right?
Dude, pull up a map right now and highlight the Midwest.
No, it's not mid and it's not west, but it's not East Coast either. It's just more eastern than Midwest.
No, look, guys, all I have to say is this, right?
If it's on the East Coast,
it doesn't matter. The Houston Astros are in the American
on
League
its doorstep.
If you can drive less than 4 hours and get to the ocean, you're on that coast.
That's takes ridiculous.
It's 20 hours
ridiculous.
to drive from Chicago to the coast.
And it's not 4 hours, bro. If you went 4 hours from Chicago, you'd be in like Ohio,
Indiana.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be like
you'd almost be in Connecticut.
Bro,
that's what I'm saying.
Ohio borders West Virginia. What are you talking about? That's East Coast.
Oh my God, Ohio is
West Virginia is on the coast, bro.
But Ohio is not East Coast.
I love it when North Carolina. Everybody's like North Carolina's the South too, and it's like not even.
I agree with that.
It's in the middle of the East Coast. It is touching the water.
That's 100% true. I love that. No, I'm with you on that. I hate when people from North Carolina, like from Flair Country, from Charlotte, act like they're Southerners. No, you are not. You are not.
I dare you guys. I actually think this is. I think you guys unearthed something. You guys should start the campaign to move the center of the United States to the center of the United States.
No, I'm looking.
Start
I'm
looking
a whole
at the Midwest
viral
right thing about how the center of the United States
it's this far.
Is not the center of the United States. I would back it. I'll sign I'll be the first signature on the petition.
The mid part, it's close to the center line.
Mid part of the United States to the center.
The furthest to the center is close to the midline of the United States. So I could give them maybe the mid part.
Not the west.
Bro, it's on the east side of the midline.
You're
right.
No, it is. The Mid East would be
well, they can't say Middle East. That was already taken.
Exactly.
Unless they're dividing it like this, and that it's actually from Florida to Washington.
But that's not the way
right?
That's not
maybe
the way
that's the middle of the United States.
You can't just tilt it to fit your narrative.
Well, that's
the middle of the United States.
Would you like make a big circle around the United States and then find a middle point?
If you take latitude and you cock it on a 90 or a 35-degree angle,
as it's no longer latitude, right? Yeah, because it's and then it's like what is it? A Titan, an Infinity War. That's all. The whole thing's off its axis, and then things are floating in the air.
Paul, let me ask you this:
built a house,
how much time have you spent in Kansas?
A lot in Wichita, but not in Lawrence or wherever the direct set middle of the U.S. is in Kansas somewhere, and I don't think it's Lawrence. I think it begins with an L or with a D. But I've spent a lot of time in Wichita, Kansas.
I'm going to Wichita.
And
but when was that decided? See, this is what I want to know now. Like, when did they decide that was the direct center of the United States, and from what points did they use? Because you've got Florida pushes out a little farther,
geographical center of the United States. Take a stab. Nobody's going to get this, and no typing. The geographical center of the United States, Brett.
Can I just name the state? Because I'm not even going to be able to name.
No,
the
go
town.
for a state. I'll take a state, but I'll give you
Okay.
the specific city because I just looked it up. But tell me a state. The geographical center of the United States.
As in latitude and longitude, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the thing is,
Topeka, somewhere near Topeka, Kansas. Let's just
okay,
say
he's
that.
saying Kansas. Eric, what do you think?
Maybe
Oklahoma.
Nebraska. Maybe Nebraska.
What'd you say?
But I'd say maybe Nebraska. if not
Somewhere in
Kansas.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Paul
That's
Vato,
where
what
I
you
was
got?
going to go. So I was actually going to go Oklahoma.
You can
City.
vote for it. That's fine. You can go with Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Paul, what are you saying?
I thought I was for sure right that it was in the middle of Kansas or in Kansas somewhere because I saw a game show where they said what's directly in the middle of America and London, and it was actually east coast of Newfoundland somewhere. So I'm going to stick with
Newfoundland.
Kansas, the middle of Kansas somewhere.
Newfoundland. I like it.
It's Belfort, South Dakota.
Okay. I had a feeling it was that general area. South Dakota.
That's too north. That's
what I
It's
thought.
not though. Look at a
That's
map.
what I
I'm
thought,
looking at
yeah.
it. They're right.
No, I get it. I just
The
figured.
thing is, like geography, people think of like driving distance or whatever, but you're in California and you'll drive 6 hours, but you'll go 300-400 miles. You can't do that in the other states. You're driving through.
Yeah.
What is it? I just said it.
Hawaii.
Carolina. So you're driving from North Carolina through South Carolina to get down to right. South Carolina's statewide speed limit is 40 miles an hour.
Oh.
So it suddenly changes and they wait right there on the border to catch you and they go pop and they get you for a $500 ticket. But it's like, it takes so long. So we sit there and we judge distances by how long it takes to get there instead of actual distance. The Midwest is nowhere near the Midwest and the center of the country is in fucking South Dakota.
Yeah.
Like for the correction.
Eric,
That counts for the correction.
What's the correction count?
But is it a correction count? Again, it's like what I talked about last week. It's not a correction count if you're asking someone an inquiry and then you tell them the answer they don't know. That's you have to speak because by that point it's like anyone who guesses something. You know what I mean? Like that's low hanging fruit. And he had to look it up too. So
I
it's not
definitely
he
had to
knew.
look it up.
Yeah, so it's not like he knew. But no, it's all good. I got a clarification, so I'm fine. You can give Brendan what he wants. But no, it's interesting because geography, it's funny because so many people look at a map and they just try to do it in quadrants, like, northwest, southwest, northeast, southeast. And then you realize how much actual land mass is in between some of these states. And you realize, okay, that makes sense why it may move.
It is
degrees.
amazing to me how many people don't realize why Hawaii was attacked by Japan. And it's like, dude, because they're way closer to Japan than we are. Like
way closer. Yeah. Way closer.
Hawaii is nowhere near the contingent United States. It is closer to Japan than it is to the U.S. continental
and Australia. Yeah.
Oh. I'm by Midwest Coastal.
No, you should have just stopped after I'm by.
By Midwest Coastal.
That's the edit that's going to go for the shorts.
And cut. Yeah. There you go.
And cut.
And I think
Steve is thinking of like the myriad of ways that he could wrap up this show because it's gone in so many.
No,
directions.
you can't. One thing I've learned in life, you can't wrap up chaos.
I love that.
You
T-shirt.
can't. So
T-shirt.
Just
swag.
You can't do it, but what I can do is let the chaos continue. And Paul Vato, it is your turn to tell us about what you've been up to and what products you're pushing this week.
You know what? I got to be honest with you. This show's gone way too damn long. No one's buying shit from me. So
Bye.
Go to Black.
Did we break Paul Vato? I think we did.
Wow. Is this real?
PaulVato.com.
I knew he couldn't not do it. Oh,
yeah.
Kama Sushi. Buy the Kama Sushi. Buy Vato Point. If you want to talk to me, call me on Owl. Use Vato referral code Vato.
Please call Vato all hours of the night.
Dude, my esthetician texted me like 4 times while we were recording because
Bring your nutsack over here.
I forgot to confirm my appointment for my Brazilian.
Is it cold enough?
So she.
How many Brazilians are you gonna get?
Is it
Well, because you got to do it
downstairs?
for the first couple of months. You got to do it every like couple of weeks.
Does your wife?
Right.
Is your wife liking this?
Why do you think I would keep doing it?
What about your boyfriend?
He's on the fence.